What's going on, guys? We are back once again, and we are going to be continuing the movie reviews that we continue to just keep doing. But honestly, this is probably one of my childhood favorites, I would say. We are going to be talking about Practical Magic, which is what you're seeing on your screen right now. Came out in '98, starring the legendary Sandra Bullock and, of course, Nicole Kidman as well. Very, I would say, early in their careers. And this movie, in my own personal opinion, is a very cult classic. You guys can watch this on Hulu right now. The entire premise of this film is you have where you got Sally and Jill, who are descendants of witches. And the way it goes is their ancestor, when she came to the land that they live on, she was forgotten by her lover, and she accidentally made a curse on the family for any man that fell for an Owens woman would die, an unconventional death. And when their parents died, they go live with their aunts, and their aunts teach them witchcraft. And then you have Jill, who becomes the wild, crazy one, and you have Sally, who becomes the conservative one. And then they go on their separate paths. And then the unfortunate tradition of, you got one brunette, one redhead, always in the family. And Sally has her own children with someone that she meets because of a spell that her aunts cast so she could find somebody, get married, and have children. And unfortunately, the father of her children dies, so she goes and lives with her aunts, and she asks them not to raise her children the way she was raised, because she does not want them to become witches like she is. And she has pretty much forsaken her roots and her traditions, because she does not want to become a witch. She does not want to be a witch anymore. She does not want anything to do with that part of her life. And Jill goes on and does crazy things, getting up with different guys, and she comes across one who is a very sadistic, evil person by the name of Jimmy, who becomes very infatuated with Jill, and at the same time becomes very possessive as well. So when Sally's husband dies, Jill goes and sees her sister, and you see that sisterly bond in this film. This is a very majorly sibling bond film in this film, because you see where there's a scene where Sally's writing to Jill, and she knows she's looking at the moon, and then she hears the phone ring, and she knows it's her sister calling for help. And she goes and gets her, and apparently Jimmy was abusive to her, and among other things. And then she finally was going to leave him, and it takes a turn because Jimmy takes both Sally and Jill hostage, and then they have to protect themselves, and then they cover up his death by magic, and they even try to bring him back. It does not work, and they bury him on the property. And then later on in the movie, he starts coming back, and he's evil, and he's trying to possess and go after Jill, which he does try to do multiple times. Sally meets someone else in interest, who is a cop that's looking into the case, which she never thought she was going to meet someone of a spell, so that way she would not fall in love with someone and lose them, like the curse was always supposed to happen. So you see this magical bond that continues to grow within Sally and Jill throughout the movie of, they were close, and they become separate, and they become close again. And it really does grow when Jimmy does take over Jill completely, and they have to pretty much use witchcraft to exorcise him out of her. And I would say probably one of the most powerful scenes in this film is when Jimmy does take fully over Jill, and I give so much credit to the acting skills of Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock in this film. I highly do. And this was actually one of my main movies that actually got me into having a crush on Nicole Kidman when I was younger. And there's a scene where she's drinking a specific bottle, and she even tells him while he's possessing Jill, where she says, "You want this? Well, this you can't have," and pretty much shows the bond of how strong sisters are, siblings are, to be able to exorcise him out of her and then put his spirit to rest. And That scene it is so powerful. You know, not only for someone that either has siblings or doesn't have siblings, but the way they were able to portray that scene was just very, very powerful. And I love that scene so much. And then later on in the film, you see where they embrace their roots, because they had to hide them for so long because of the town, you know, knew they were witches, and they gave them a lot of crap for it. They were able to, you know, the whole witch, you're a witch, you know, that type of deal. And even Sally's kids had to deal with that. So we really get to see the reborn part of the Owen sisters and be able to continue on a better tradition than what was originally began in the film. And like I said, I love this film. I truly do. It's one of those where it's got drama, comedy, a lot of comedy, action, adventure, a lot of thrill, a lot of spooky stuff. So if you guys like spooky witch stuff, definitely check out this film. I think the two funniest scenes in this film is when they get woken up to, as they say, midnight margaritas, and they're dancing around, you know, drinking, having fun. That is a hilarious scene. And then when you see Nicole Kidman show up at back to see her sister in the school for Sally for her kids, you see where everyone recognizes her, and she just kind of goes like, "Yeah, I'm back." She says, "Hold on to your husbands, girls," you know, and it's just that sarcastic, witty, seductive thing that Nicole Kidman is able to do in this film, and it's very funny, and you can't help but laugh. And same thing with Sandra Bullock when, you know, they are kind of mimicking each other in class, and then I think like someone makes a comment, and then she does something to make sure that they pinch the finger, and she's like, "Don't do that," and she's like, "It wasn't me," and they both say at the same time, "It was you," you know. It's very funny, and again, it's a very 90s film. It's a very it's a pleasure film, and when I say by a pleasure film, it's one of those you can watch by any time of the year, and it's a very good feeling when you watch this film. You get a lot of comedy, you get some sadness in there, you get a great character development, get like great acting, and a great story. So I highly recommend for anyone that has never seen Practical Magic to definitely give it a shot. It's a great film. Let me know what you guys think about it either way down in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, also about subscribing, leave a big fat like on the video if you guys enjoyed. And as always, I'll be seeing you guys on the next one.